So I'm getting ready to head out to go teach Sunday school. I started dinner in the crock pot already. I'll show you what we got going on. So I got chicken thighs and chicken breasts. They're frozen. I just piled them in here, and I put a bottle of the zesty lime vinaigrette on there, and I'm just going to let it cook down today, and then we'll add rice and sides with it. So this will be a trim healthy, mama friendly meal for me, and then we'll add other stuff with it, and I'll show you what we're having for dinner. So here is my brown rice with the lime chicken I had going in the crock pot all day. So this is what we're having for dinner on Sunday night. The kiddos are having this with macaroni and cheese and some veggies, corn on the side. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So I have a ton of frozen apples. I'm going to take 2 gallon size full of sliced apples I've had in the freezer. I've got to get them used up before they start getting freezer burnt and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to make homemade applesauce in the crock pot. I'll show you what I'm adding to it. So here are my frozen apples. They're already sliced and peeled. They're just still frozen. I stuck it on low, and I did put it on for 9 hours. I don't know that we will need 9 hours, but I'll just check it every couple hours to see when it's ready. I'm going to add some cinnamon. I'm not going to put a ton in right now until we see how it is. And then for sweetener, I'm going to add some honey. Now this honey, my sister and her husband actually own a bee business and have for many, many years. So this is pure fresh honey. I don't ever have to buy it from the store. So it's awesome. I actually get it by the gallons, and I pour it in a jar. That way I have it readily available when I need it for sweeteners and stuff. So this has been an amazing blessing right here, having this on hand basically as much and whenever I need it. So I will show you this after it cooks down some. So I have had the apples in the crock pot on low for about 8 hours. I added honey and cinnamon when I first started, and that was it. So I'm going to check them now. They had cooked down quite a bit. So I actually take my meat masher and finish chopping up. So this is how the applesauce turned out. I do not puree it all the way down. Actually, my kiddos kind of like it with the little bits of chunks in there. So it turns out really well. It's still smooth and stuff, but it just gives them a little bit of texture. So homemade applesauce from apples that were actually on my sister-in-law's tree. So there you go. So it's 7:30 a.m. on Monday morning. I am getting dinner in the crock pot, so I'll show you what we're going to have for dinner tonight. So I have a pork roast I got in my Aldi grocery haul, and I started it on low. I put it in for 10 hours. It'll be done before then, but I'm going to add some seasoning salt to it. Dump that in. And then I have some of this smoky mesquite. It's the Grill Sensations, but I like to add this because I need to start using some of these spices up. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to let that cook down, and then I will check in later with this and what else we're having. So my roast is cooking down good. I just added a bag of baby carrots to this. And then I'm going to fry up the white potatoes that we got from Ruby's Pantry. I'm cooking about 6 pounds of them. And I also will chop up an onion and fry these with the potatoes. And then I have a stick of actual real butter that I cook it in. I don't use oils, just the pure butter. And for myself, since I'm on Trim Healthy Mama, I'm going to slice up and fry in this very minimal amount of butter this sweet potato to where I can have a fried potato too. So yeah, I'll show you this when it's done. So the roast and carrots is done. Fried potatoes are done. My fried sweet potatoes are done. And we're adding salad and corn and some leftovers from last night. We're just throwing in with, as extra sides. But yeah, that's what's for dinner on Monday night. So it's Tuesday, and it has been a crazy, stressful day. I mean, crazy. So I am doing something simple for dinner. It's totally processed, whatever, that's okay. Us mamas can do that sometimes when we have stressful days. So I will show you what I'm heating up. My people's getting fed, so that's all that matters. So this is what we're doing. I'm putting some potato puffs. They're seasoned. 2 bags of those. I will put these in the air fryer. Get them crispy and cooked all the way through. I got a package of these chicken cranberry sausage. I'll eat these. Only thing Trim Healthy Mama I can eat for dinner is this, so that's what I'm going to be having. My husband and a couple kiddos like the cheddar brats, so I'm going to make those. And then I got 2 packs of the all beef hot dogs and, of course, the buns. So this is what we're doing tonight because it has been extremely insane today. So sometimes we just have to do something easy so our people get fed. So, yep, that's what we're doing tonight. So it's Wednesday. I am making American lasagna for dinner. This is a recipe that my mom used to make us growing up. I will tell you the ingredients as I'm putting them in, but that's what we're having for dinner tonight. So I cook up hamburger meat. I do make 1 cheese and 1 meat lasagna because some of my kiddos do not like meat very much. So I cook this up, and then I got the oven ready lasagna noodles, so I'm just going to use these this time. And then the sauce is actually a white sauce for American lasagna. All it is I use vegetable broth, some milk, and then cream soup. It doesn't matter if it's cream of chicken, cream of celery, cream of potato, or cream of mushroom, whatever you prefer. And you mix it together until it's, you know, a kind of thick consistency, but still thin to pour. And then you just use this like you would any red sauce, and you just layer the meat, cheese, and noodles and this sauce, and then you bake it. But I'll show you it after I get them layered up here. So here they are. I got my cheese one and my meat one. I'm going to foil them. I will put them in the oven for about an hour. The last 10 minutes I will take the foil off to finish cooking the cheese down. But that's all it is. These are super easy. My kids love them. Of course, this is not Trim Healthy Mama friendly, so I will be eating leftover rice and chicken lime I had the other night that I froze. So I'll show you these when we plate them up. So this is the American lasagna done. This is my husband's plate, and I sliced up some French bread, so that's what they're getting tonight, and the kiddos will each get a plate like this. So it's Thursday night. I am making spaghetti for dinner. I cooked up some ground beef, and then I made spaghetti sauce, adding some more Italian seasoning. I put garlic in here. And then I just let that finish cooking down. So we will have this. I will actually have mine over rice cauliflower. It's the garlic and herb one I get at Aldi. Because I did not cook the spaghetti squash tonight. I didn't feel like doing that. And then we will have some bread and butter if the kiddos want it. So I will show you this after it's plated up. So I got dinner done. This is my husband's plate of spaghetti and his bread. Kiddos are eating, and I'm getting ready to make my plate with the cauliflower rice with the sauce over it. So I'm getting dinner going. It's Friday night. I got some pork steaks here. 3 is typically enough for, you know, I'm feeding 10. So, but not everybody eats meat, only a couple of my kiddos. So this definitely feeds everybody. I am going to put seasoning salt on them. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this garlic pepper seasoning. And then I will bake them in the oven. And then when they start to, the top looks like they're getting done, I'll flip them and put seasoning on the other side. I'm going to start peeling some potatoes. I'm going to make homemade mashed potatoes. Probably some quinoa and rice for myself. And some veggies. So I will show you this in a bit. So I have my potatoes mashed. I just threw a stick of butter in there. I'm going to let that melt down and then stir it in. Add some salt and pepper to it. And I always make my gravy from scratch. So I got a little bit of flour in here. And this is the juices from the pork steak. So I just pour some of that in. And then I stir it until it's not lumpy and smooth. That way there's no lumps in the gravy. This just makes like a roux. And then I use it as my base to thicken the gravy itself. It looks pretty thin. Never put the flour in the pot with all the juice because you will end up with a lot of lumps. So I got that done. So I'll pour that in. So it comes out thinner with no lumps. And then I will add more actual water to this and let it simmer. And then it will thicken up, and I'll add some seasonings to it besides the drippings off the pork steaks. And then I'll show you how that turns out. So I am making, it's called cottage cheese salad to go with dinner. I had some cottage cheese in the fridge that I needed to get used up before it went bad. My kids love this. All it is any kind of cottage cheese you want. Then you can add any fruit you want. I've got a can of mixed fruit here. And then I use the sugar-free gelatin. Just dump that in. And then I'll get this stirred up and show you what it looks like. So here it is, all mixed up. I just put a cover on it, put it in the fridge, let it chill. But it's a great snack and halfway healthy with no sugar in the Jell-O. The fruit is just packed in water, and then the cottage cheese. But yeah, this is really good. So I got my husband's plate plated up, and I'm gonna pour some gravy on there. You can tell it thickened up. I sometimes like to let it sit a little longer to get thicker, but that works for now. I like to cook from scratch as much as possible because it's healthier, it's cheaper. My husband has corn. I've also got green beans as a side. My husband won't eat anything green, so this is what we're having for dinner Friday night. So it's Saturday, and I've been at my daughter's house all day working on the basement. Yep, we've been sheetrocking. So dinner tonight, my daughter made pizza. So I will show you that. So yep, this is what we had. Good old Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. So Saturday night, I'm not home, so that's what we're having. So it's Sunday night. We've been at the pumpkin patch and doing a lot of running today. So I'm making tacos for dinner tonight. So I'll show you this. So I've got my ground beef cooking. I just have to add the seasoning when it's done. And I'm making raw tortillas that you can buy. So you just cook them up. And then we use those for our tacos. So we're just doing dinner buffet style. I've got the meat, the beans, the tortillas I cooked. I got cheddar jack cheese, salsa, taco sauce. This is the sour cream I got from Ruby's Pantry. And then I will be having my tacos on the carb balance tortillas. Even though those are amazing, I gotta go with these ones to stay on plan with Trim Healthy Mama.